again,
Oh
I think
wow.
that the movie has a lot of great things to understand the evolution of Taiwan and the evolution of LGBTQ plus rights in Taiwan.
Hey everybody, I'm Nick. I'm a director living in Taiwan, and today we are joined once again by my good friend Victor.
Hey, how are you, Nick? Hello, everybody. I'm Victor or Duo Duo. That's kind of like my YouTube name.
Yeah, so Duo has his own channel called Duo I Taiwan. Duo Duo I Taiwan.
Yes. Or Duo Duo Loves Taiwan. If you search
Yeah.
in English, Duo Duo Loves Taiwan.
And it's a really cool channel. He talks about like things that he loves about Taiwan and just kind of like cool little things that he thinks are great about Taiwan.
Yeah, normally I talk about the good things about Taiwan. I've only done two videos, not so related. One ranting about COVID, but that's, I think, like the whole world feel it. And another one I gave my opinion about political issues, and I lost 8 subscribers.
Wow, eight.
So,
Well, that's interesting because I saw that last video you did. I really liked it. It was a little bit about like gay issues in Taiwan, and it's kind of related to the movie that we're talking about.
yes. So thanks to you, I'm gonna lose some more subscribers. But yeah, it's because we're
I
gonna
hope
talk about
not.
a gay movie.
So this film that we're talking about is called Your Name Engraved Herein, and it's LGBTQ cinema would be like the genre, I guess you would classify it as. And Taiwan has like a really advanced LGBT kind of cinema scene, wouldn't you
Yeah,
say?
definitely. I don't think it's just cinema. I think that because Taiwan is a democracy, and gay marriage is the only country in Asia that legalized gay marriage. It has the biggest gay film festival, the Taiwan International Queer Film Festival. It has the biggest gay parade in all of Asia. So I think, because it has more acceptance and because there's freedom of speech, there are a lot of gay characters, not just in movies, but in series. Yeah, so definitely you can talk about this subject, which is already quite
Yeah. Yeah.
forward for a lot of countries in Asia.
Yeah, definitely. So the Chinese name of this is 刻在你心底的名字, and it was made in 2020. And some facts about it that I saw is that it's the highest grossing LGBT film in Taiwan's history.
Yeah, I saw that too. That is the highest grossing film. Well, I'm not surprised because I came back to Taiwan right up around the time that this movie came out, and everyone was talking about it. Like, it was a
Yeah.
huge,
Yeah.
huge hit. And I also did some research, and apparently it was like the second highest grossing film of 2020,
Yeah, I saw that
and
as
by far
well.
the highest grossing LGBTQ plus film in
Yeah.
Taiwan
Yeah.
cinema history.
So the plot of the film is it's set in 1987, I think, right, the year after martial law ends, and it's something that they mention in the film, but it doesn't. To me, it doesn't really seem to have actually doesn't really come up that much. So it's about a boy named Ahan who goes to a Catholic high school, and he's basically discovering that he's gay. This is what the movie's about. He falls in love with a character named Birdie, who's an interesting character that I want to talk a little bit about later. But they basically can't be together because they can't admit that they're gay to both themselves and other people in the society. And so it causes them a lot of pain and longing, and that's basically what the movie's about.
Exactly. It's like a coming of age movie with a love story of coming of age story. Yep.
I think a lot of the reviews I read of the movie kind of do comparisons of the film to Wong Kar-wai movies, and I think there's some kind of similarity in like the visual choices that the director made, and then also like the same theme of like, oh, I want to be with you but I can't, and we can't be together, because like in Wong Kar-wai movies, like the characters kind of like hardly ever kind of end up together, which is the same kind of thing as this movie.
I agree and disagree. I mean, yes, you're right that the characters are in love and they cannot be together, and there's this whole conflict. But I think work and white movies are much more intimate.
Yeah.
A problem that I have with
Yeah.
these movies, like everything feels a bit on the high end of emotion.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's funny because I was reading these comparisons to Wong Kar Wai and stuff, and I think that one of the things about this movie is that it's like it kind of wants to be like an art movie, like a very like deep, intense movie, but I think it doesn't. It has more in common with a movie like The Notebook or something like that, rather than like a Wong Kar-wai movie, or like there's an obvious connection to like Happy Together, which is another like a gay film that's like really really it's like the Mount Rushmore of gay movies is like Happy Together is on there, and then like, or like something like Moonlight or something like that, which is like these like really deep arty movies, but it's more like just like a romance, I think.
It's a torturous romance. Actually, for me, the main problem with the movie, because I read a lot of reviews and they're all like great, great, great. For me, the main problem with this movie is I feel it should be a TV series instead of a movie. What I mean is like they try to put. I was reading that apparently is based very much in the life of the director.
Oh, okay.
So I think when you're writing something very intimate, something that means so much to you, you don't want to leave any details out.
Yeah.
You know, but it's a detail of a whole high school year or a whole high school period and the political period. So I feel like there's so many important things in the movie. Like, I'm not saying that are extra, but there's so many that at the end you don't have a moment to breathe. There are very few moments that you. So that's why I say I don't really agree with Wong Kar-wai, because I think Wong Kar-wai, his movies are very slow. Like, it's kind of like in this movie, I feel like it's in your face, the emotions. In Wong Kar-wai, I feel like you just feel.
100%. You're actually, I think that's a really good point, because this movie has so many plot points. Like, there's so many like there's all these different things, and if they broke it down into episodes, I think it would have been fantastic. Like, if you had one episode about the girlfriend and one episode about the you know, like the I don't even remember exactly why they were doing it, but like they had some like competition where they had to sing or something. One episode, and then like throughout this whole series, you could have like the meeting with the priest be like the thing that connects all the episodes. I really actually think that would be a smart move, because I think that would actually be a really good show if they made it into a show. Like, and they could, because people would like it.
I mean, honestly, we talked about this movie. When I first watched it, I didn't. It wasn't my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Then I rewatched it so we could talk about it, and I wrote notes. And as I was reading my notes, I was like, actually, there are a lot of things that I like. But the thing is, all the things that I like is because they're important into a historical context. Like, I think it's important to see, like what you're saying, is the end of martial law. So we can see how much Taiwan has changed. But we actually don't really experience their life so much. Like,
it's not really that much of there's not enough of it in the movie. Like, it's like a point, and you kind of think, okay, so this is a long time ago. That's why that's why people are more closed-minded or something like that. But they don't really go into what it means and what that meant to people.
Or you mentioned the girlfriend, but at the end, the girlfriend is like, they meet, he confessed, she has to leave the school, and then we see them 20 years after.
That was actually my favorite story point of the whole movie, was the whole thing with the girlfriend, and how like he started dating a girl to kind of deny his feelings about that. He didn't want to admit that he was gay, and then like the other guy got jealous of a girl, and that's how he kind of realizes that he loves this person, is because he's feeling this jealousy towards this guy. I really thought that was interesting, and I thought that, like, coming from the perspective of like a straight man watching the movie, I thought it made me think about something that I had never thought about before. I'm like, wow, that must be really weird.
Well, actually, a lot of my notes, I literally wrote notes. Like, I prepare for this. And a lot of my notes, I wrote, for example, Birdie, is he gay or crazy? Like, and again, that's why I think this would be such a great series, because a lot of the things that the character Birdie does, like at the beginning, it seems that he's the one that assumes better his sexuality. It feels like he's the one that kind of seduced Ahan. But then is Birdie the one that gets a girlfriend, and it's Birdie the one that wants Ahan to get a girlfriend. It's kind of Birdie the one that is pushing him away. So, and also he's presented as a rebel.
Yeah.
Creates even more confusion if it's just a rebel, if it's just a phase, if he loves him or doesn't love him.
I think this movie, what it really is like a movie for teenagers, right? Like, and I think that's and that sounds like an insult, but it's not. I think it's a really good thing. Like that's what this movie is for. That's who it's for, and I think that's the people who would like it and would benefit the most from it, because it's like people that watch it will, like, if you're straight, you kind of learn to build empathy for, you know, maybe queer people that you know, and if you're queer, maybe you watch it and you realize, like, oh, I'm not alone, like, people feel the way that I feel. So it's a really good thing that this is like for teenagers. So in the end they meet up again as like older men, which is, I don't think that's really a spoiler. Could be, I don't know. But the thing about this, and I think this might be another, like, maybe a cultural thing, like my foreigner guilt about it that I kind of don't like, is I don't understand why so many people are obsessed with, like, their high school love. And I feel like this is, I mean, I think it happens in, like, American movies as well. They make, like, a big deal about your first high school love or whatever. But I think in Taiwan cinema, it's like it's like a thing a theme that you see a lot of, like, the high school romance that is, like, so meaningful in your life. And I almost kind of feel like, I mean, I don't really care. I mean, like, I don't know if that many people are that obsessed with the person they fell in love with in high school. And I don't know if that's, like, I think the message of the movie is good, right? I think, like, the end of the movie has kind of like a it gets better, #it gets better kind of vibe to it, of, like, in the end you're gonna find love and you're gonna be happy and things are gonna work out. But the idea of, like, you're gonna end up with the person that you fell in love with in high school, it's like, that's not I'm fairly confident that's not gonna happen.
Well, okay, the movie, another great thing about I will touch on that, but what I want to go back is another great thing about the movie. I feel like it's a piece of history. Like, you can compare, as we were saying before, like, now in Taiwan you have legalized same-sex unions. You know, the country has come free democracy, free speech. So
yes.
When you see how oppressed they were as students, and then when you see them so free now, I think it shows a part of how Taiwan has evolved.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
And I also think I agree with you. I think very few people end up with their high school romance, but we don't know if they end up with the high school romance. I think what is beautiful is, like, they find each other as adults. They finally accept themselves, and therefore they can finally accept what happened or how they feel now.
I like that.
I like it. I actually like it. I didn't think of it as they end up with their high school.
Okay, you turned me around on it.
They finally have the maturity to accept themselves, and they cherish what happened, and they talk about it those are one of my favorite moments in the movie, because it's finally just calm, subdued.
Okay. Yeah, you actually totally made me flip my opinion on that. Like, I think you're actually right, because I think that it's not really about whether or not, like, it's more about the closure that they are giving each other. I think you're right.
They can finally accept each other. You know, they're free of the parents, the society, the martial law. Taiwan has evolved. They can accept each other. They can be single. They can go to places that are gay. They can talk about it, and they can talk among themselves of how they felt and what happened and how they feel then. Because in reality, we don't know if they live happily ever after. We have no idea if they just catch up and say, oh, "It was so great to see you." Or if they married and have kids. I mean, we don't know. So I thought it was, I actually like the ending.
Okay, cool.
Which, again, is going to be foreign guilt, because a few of my Taiwanese friends don't like that they go back, that they jump into the future.
What's interesting about that,
What's
the
interesting
ending is,
about that,
I think the ending reminds me a lot of. People talk about Wong Kar-wai, but I think a lot of this movie has similarities to
Millennium Mambo,
where like some of the filming style, like they film a lot through like reflections and stuff like that, and then also the ending of this movie and Millennium Mambo have like a lot of similarities in that, like in Millennium Mambo she goes to Hokkaido and like has like a kind of walking around in Hokkaido and just like kind of remembering things. It's a lot about memory and stuff. And this movie has like a similar feeling when they go to Niagara Falls or wherever, and they're walking around and kind of remembering the past, and it kind of gives the whole movie this feeling of like this movie is actually not really. It's like a memory of this guy. It's like a that's what the whole movie is like his memory of these events, basically. That's what
the whole movie is like his,
which I think is a cool concept that I like that idea,
which I think is a cool
concept kind of match that.
I like that.
I think it's cool
idea of it and how they kind of match that. I think it's
cool.
I
like that it didn't stay just in the what you were saying, like high school drama, but actually, even though it's just a few minutes at the end of their adulthood, you can see all the evolution of, in just those few minutes, you see all the evolution of society, rights. I feel like the movie is like a piece of history, not just because it's important now, but what I mean is like it shows so much of how Taiwan has evolved in just 20 years. I mean, it's no more, 40 years. 97, 40 years.
And I think like it's good for people to see the history of that, especially in like the sexual politics of Taiwan. Like where if you come here now, you think like, oh, it's a free place. You know, if you're queer or whatever, you can be relatively open and everybody, and it's like, you know, you can get married, but it wasn't like that before. And I think it's important for people to kind of remember like that in the recent past, it wasn't like that.
Exactly. In fact, in the movie, there is a scene where they go to Taipei and they see a protester protesting for gay rights, and he's taken away by the police. And he is like a huge figure on the gay rights battle in Taiwan. And you know, now you see him on every gay parade, and he's there free protesting. You know, he's not being jailed for protesting for gay rights. So again, I think that the movie has a lot of great things to understand the evolution of Taiwan and the evolution of LGBTQ plus rights in Taiwan. So I would definitely recommend the movie, and that's why I wanted to become a TV series. It's just because there's so much, it becomes a problem for me.
That's fascinating. So that guy in the film, the actor or the character that they're portraying, or the actual person, because the character they're portraying is a real kind of activist. See, that could be like an episode.
Exactly. So that's what I mean. Like there are a lot of things that are indeed important.
All right. Well, I think we'll end it here. If you want us to review any other films, please let us know in the comments. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, and go check out Victor's YouTube channel, which is
Duo Loves Taiwan or Duo Yo Duo Ai Taiwan.